Is it possible to run out of electricity if all our fuel is converted into electricity? Through methods such as burning in power plants or nuclear reactors? No, it is not possible to run out of electricity in the way we might run out of fuel like coal, oil, or natural gas. Electricity is a form of energy that is generated rather than something that is stored in a finite quantity. However, the availability of electricity depends on the availability of the resources and infrastructure to generate it. Here's a breakdown. 1. Electricity production. Electricity is not a resource that can be depleted. It is produced by converting other forms of energy, chemical, thermal, nuclear, solar, wind, etc., into electrical energy using power plants or renewable energy systems. However, the input fuels or energy sources used to generate electricity can be exhausted or disrupted. Fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas are finite resources. If these are depleted, power plants reliant on them would no longer produce electricity. Nuclear fuel, uranium and thorium, used in nuclear reactors, are also finite but much more abundant and efficient than fossil fuels. Renewables, solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal are effectively inexhaustible but depend on environmental conditions. 2. What could cause a lack of electricity? While we can't run out of electricity, there are scenarios where electricity supply could be disrupted. Fuel shortages. If the primary fuels for electricity generation are depleted or unavailable, for example, during a crisis, power plants may stop operating. Infrastructure failure. Breakdowns in the grid, power plants, or transmission systems can lead to power outages. Demand exceeds supply. Inadequate generation capacity to meet high demand could lead to rolling blackouts. Renewable limitations. Over-reliance on renewables without sufficient energy storage could lead to shortages during periods of low sun or wind. 3. Solutions for continuity. To ensure that electricity remains available even if traditional fuels are depleted, we rely on renewable energy. Solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal sources do not run out and are increasingly used for electricity generation. Energy storage. Advanced battery systems, such as Tesla Megapacks, store excess renewable energy to supply the grid during shortages. Diverse energy mix. Using a mix of renewable, nuclear, and fossil fuel-based sources ensures resilience. Grid interconnection. Interconnected grids can import electricity from regions with surplus generation. For the role of nuclear power provides a reliable and long-term source of electricity. Uranium and thorium reserves are extensive and can last for hundreds to thousands of years with advanced reactor technologies like breeder reactors. Conclusion: electricity itself doesn't run out, but our ability to produce it can be limited by resource depletion, infrastructure issues, or mismatched supply and demand. A transition to a diversified energy system with a focus on renewables, energy storage, and nuclear power can ensure a stable and sustainable electricity supply for the future.